I can just tell you the title of this show is Chaos Always. It's always something going on in the black community. There's always things going on. I have quite a few subjects that I'm going to talk to you about today. Um, I wanted to, what, folks, on the news, some of you have heard about it. Now, I got to tell you this. When a person gets 70 years for spitting at a police officer, 70 years, man, that's sad. Now, you already know that this was a black man that I'm talking about, and this happened in Texas. And him and his girlfriend got into a situation where she flagged the police officer down just to help her out. They didn't charge him with any kind of um, assault or anything like that. I guess they was arguing or whatever. But the thing of it is, it's really sad. And that just goes to show again about the things that I talk about, how it's so easy for the other community, for white folks to look at us in a different kind of way as if we're not human. I know some of you out there say, well, I'm not like that. Well, you kind of is like that. If you was to look at your feelings and look at your decisions about things, we can go on a national level. I'm gonna jump around a little bit, but I'm gonna talk about some things today. First of all, I want to say that Terry Rogers, that we're gonna get a little political. Terry Rogers is still running for office, and he's trying so hard to make a difference in the community by bridging that gap between his generation and the other generations. And I think that one of the things that you all are doing out there is that you're not giving him the proper credence. And what I mean by that is because of his youngness, that you hear him one time and you're impressed with him. Or maybe when you see him for the first time, you don't even want to talk to him. But then when you hear him tell his story, when you look at his knowledge, how impeccable his education is at such an early age, then you want to get his number. You have it twisted, you have it backwards. When you see a young person that's interested in doing something that's right, doing something that's productive, and want to be a part of the political process, especially black people, you should definitely get on board with that person and help him, mentor him. And I want to say this to Terry Rogers the second, is that stop reaching out to people. You're burning too much, you're expending too much energy reaching out to people that do not, they don't give you the proper credence. They kind of proud of you once they get to know you, but are they reaching in their back pocket? Are these different Democratic parties? All the Democratic parties, on the local level, you have county Democratic parties. Sometimes you have a city Democratic Party, and you have the state Democratic Party. He's running as a Democrat in a statewide election. And I would like to ask Mr. Rogers is how many times have the Democratic Party given you any money for advertising or got on board to help promote you, to help you accomplish your goal and help you be successful in your endeavor? I would like to know that, and I would like for you all. I'm not going to use the phone number because you haven't been using it anyway. It took a little minute. I had somebody hack into my system. Too bad, I hear you talking. Can y'all tell Too Bad to stop talking in my ear? Too Bad is always talking in my ear. He said, you know who hacked into it. Too Bad, don't even, can I tell my story? He got to let me tell my story. But somebody hacked into my system, and I'm going to tell it my way. They hacked into the system, but the problem with the person that's doing the hacking is that the person that's going to unhack the hacking is a whole lot smarter as astute. I'm a genius. I'm the child prodigy in my family. I have some very intelligent sisters and brothers, first cousins, uncles that are gone on, and nieces and nephews and great nephews and great nieces. I have a very intelligent family, and I'm very proud of my family, my immediate family, and my extended family. And I love my daddy. Didn't do a lot for me. He didn't. But he did the main thing for me. He did more for me just by being my daddy than anything that he could have done, because that DNA don't lie. And I'm a genius. I can fix and do anything. You go and you hack into my pages and you take things down. I just put it back up. You make changes. Of course, I can create anything and redo it myself. I've been gone for the last day or so. taking care of business and handling business. But I'm back, and I thought maybe I didn't know what was going on, but anyway, I fixed it. I even have to. Facebook was hacked into. This Restream was hacked into, and also everything that I guess the hacker could hack into, they hacked into it, and that's okay because for me, I gotta ask this. I'm gonna go on again. I like to say good evening, and it's always chaos, chaos. And you know what, folks? I got change of venue on here. We need a change of venue. Now, usually this is a legal term meaning that you can't get justice where you are. That if you was to go to court, if you go before those judges, say you're charged with a misdemeanor or felony, uh, you can ask for a change of venue if you think that the court is going to be prejudiced towards you. And folks, I need a change of venue. And some of you out there in podcast land also need a change of venue. You don't need to change your venue from the court that you're in. You need to change a venue. That's kind of like, now I'm gonna put quotation marks before venue, meaning that I'm gonna have my own definition of venue. You need to change your location. You need to change from where you are. You need to change from what you're doing. You need to change from who you're listening to. You need to change for anything that's counterproductive. See, productivity is what we need to take it to the next level. We need productivity in order to be all we can be. We need productivity in order to have a good life. Life is not a bed of roses. Relationships are toxic. Relationships take hard work. And you know what? I gotta stop right there because I gotta say this is that um, I I uh, I just gotta say this, people. If something was to happen to me in Meridian, Mississippi, let's say that I step outside of the law and I get arrested, whether it's a misdemeanor felony, I would want to change a venue out of that county, out of that city, uh, not out of that state per se, but I want to get far away. Now, you understand when they say the long arm of the law, your enemies have a long arm too, especially if they're empowered, meaning if they are a judge or if they are a police officer or prominent attorney, they have a very long arm. If they are in positions of influence, they have a very long arm that could reach you. The law, if it's a felony, can reach you outside of the state. But if it's a misdemeanor, even with misdemeanors, they can reach you. So change of venue. Folks, I would just tell you the truth. Sometimes change of venue might mean that you change state, meaning that just get the hell up out of that city and go somewhere else and live and be all you can be. You'll be surprised when you in a house and there's shit everywhere. You're gonna smell that. You gonna get used to smelling that shit, and it's gonna be normal to you. And folks gonna come in your house and they gonna look around, they gonna turn their nose up. They say, damn, it smell like shit in here. And you gonna get a mad. You gonna want to fight them because you don't smell no shit because you ain't never left outside of your house. And so what you so now, I'm gonna tell y'all this is a true story. My aunt Sally, my late aunt Sally, man, we loved her. And she's the reason everybody ended up in Alabama, just about, especially Birmingham, Jefferson County. She used to come to Meridian, Mississippi when we were children, and boy, she used to talk about Mississippi so bad. And me being young and not being informed and not being as educated back then, we was educated about our environment. We knew how to survive and adapt to our environment, and we thought, really, believe it or not, that the whole world was like our environment, poor. And that we didn't have TVs to see anything else. And when we saw people with other things that we did not have, we just thought maybe that our parents did not want those things. We did not know that our parents could not obtain those things. And that's where education come in at. But she used to talk about Meridian. And lo and behold, I left Meridian. I went into the military. I still didn't know Meridian and Mississippi was so bad. Even though the civil rights workers was killed there, I still didn't know it was so bad. See, I'm living in this shit and I'm smelling it, and I done got used to smelling it, so I don't know. And lo and behold, I got in trouble actually in 1978, I got in trouble. And shortly, I just turned 25. And I can tell you that I end up, well, let's fast forward and come into 1984. Let's come into me living in Alabama. Let's come into me moving into Birmingham. Let's come into me going to other places like Kentucky, Lubbock, Texas, and place Louisville, Kentucky. It's not Louisville, it's Louisville. It's named after King Louis. Uh, but anyway, I went back to Mississippi. Mississippi's pretty bad. And so I say that I didn't know it was so bad until I went to other places. So and when I left out of my room, I done been in a house all day long, and I get used to that smell, that stale, and I get used to it, and I think it's a normal smell, and I go outside and smell fresh air and come back in there, and it stinks. It's a stink in there. And so, but I'm saying a lot of things. I just say that you need a change of venue. You do. The best thing in the world is for you to change your venue, change your location, educate yourself. I went to Meridian Saturday, and I went by the Shields building. I noticed that some childhood friends, children was moving out of it. And I said, what's going on? And they said that they're getting ready. They moved everybody out. They evicted everybody in the Shields building. This is the building that you see. You got the probation office. You got the Meridian Star, and Dement Printing, I think it is. And then you had a post office, and then everything else has already been torn down, and you got to make a lot there, more or less. But the Shield building is that little white building that you see right there. They're getting ready to turn those into upscale apartments. That's gentrification, folks, meaning that they're going to be priced out. And as you can see it, you see that in other cities where they under urban renewal, is that we're going to go in there, we're going to renew everything. And urban renewal is actually black removal. They take majority black cities and they take them and they turn them into a nice, safe place for white people at the expense of removing black folks and leaving black people out again. We're still not inclusive, because they started a long time ago when they took Woolworth and turned it into an apartment, and they took all those empty factories and buildings and turned those into apartments. And then the Riley, Mississippi State end up buying Marks Rothenberg's, and then they end up buying the old Cresses and the Newberry building. So all of that is part of the gentrification. They took George Poole Room, was the last thing that they tore down. And if I'm not mistaken, I think maybe the guy that bought my building bought it, and then they fixed it so he ended up getting up out of there, because see, they want the bougie white folks. They want the upscale white folks, and they want the bougie Negro. Now I'm gonna tell you something, bougie Negro. You is still a Negro. Let me tell you something, bougie Negro. You just being used. You being used to promote their agenda. See, this is what's wrong. And then, folks, I'm so sick of uh, I just got to tell you, I'm sick of all of them. I'm sick of the Democratic leaders, and I'm sick of our Republican leaders. And reason why I said leaders, because they're in position to lead, but they're not leading. They're not doing anything. Everybody's arguing and talking, and folks might having this investigation, that investigation, investigating this person and that person, trying to make the other person look bad. We got to stop doing that. We gonna have to clean house. That's the only thing that how about they work for nothing? That's one way of cleaning house. Repeal their salaries. Man, I mean, they wouldn't be there. A person, a state representative that on the national level started out making $150,000 a year, and then the perks, apartment, cars, free mail, food, all this stuff, security, all that. That's a lot of money. When you take somebody, I'm gonna call a trailer park trash like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and take a senator, and she talks nothing but ignorant stuff. She's not doing anything. Having this investigation and that investigation, looking at this person and that person, we got to get away from that if you want this country to move forward. You can't have a country and you don't build anything and you don't do anything. We have too many rules. We have too many regulations. And so we got to get away from that. And so, like, change a venue. You need to change your venue. And this is my definition of change of venue. And no, I don't want to go. If I was to be arrested in Meridian for anything, I would not go. I would ask for a change of venue. And I'm fortunate enough to have the resources to pay for that attorney to get me a change of venue. If I had to go to justice court, I would want to change a venue. I know Andre Harris would not give me a fair, I don't think any of them would be fair to me in Lauderdale County Justice Court. If I was to go into Chancery Court, I believe Charlie Smith would be fair to me. I just got to tell you that. I don't think Primo would. That's one reason why Primo is resigning. And I guarantee you that Primo is resigning has a lot to do with the judiciary performance complaint that I put on him for Greg Gillen. Remember, Greg Gillen was grossly mistreated in Judge Primo's court. And so, and to this day, I'm thinking this man still has not received justice, or nothing has happened for him. And so it is so wrong. And Greg Gillen is in my opinion, I think he's a Republican. I'm not either one, but I would lean toward, in full as in Meridian, Mississippi, is some Democrats there that I would vote for. And to tell you so that you know, I'm definitely going to vote for Ward Calhoun. You hear Two Bell talk, man, hush, Two Bell. You better go vote for him too. We need to vote for Ward Calhoun because and it's Greg Gillen. I had to say that because I be saying Gillian, and so I had to kind of correct that a little bit, Greg Gillen. But anyway, so Too Bad you need to go also and vote for Ward Calhoun. Also, all of you in Kemper County need to not vote for Sheriff Moore. And so if I got arrested, if I did anything in Kemper County, I'm gonna tell you folks, I don't trust anybody that do not like me. I don't trust anyone that don't like, because I'm not, I ain't talk. Yeah, I can talk about your mama if I want to, but I'm not talking about your mama. I can say things. I can talk about you if I think you're incompetent, and if I think that you're corrupt, if I think that you're doing that. I'm not gonna say it unless I have some kind of factual information to back up my accusations. And so I don't. I'm definitely going to vote for Ward Calhoun. Now, Ricky Roberts, has I think that he has done some favors for some black people, but we got to get away from that shit. We got to stop voting for people because they done favors, or because they acted in a certain way in court. We got to look at their history, look at everything that he's done. If you're going to really want to be informed, then look at his job, look at his duty report card, look what he's done. Look at what is he going to do. One of the things that he's going to do is that he's going to have Chris Reed as his chief deputy. While I met Chris Reed, and he's a likable person. I mean, likable. He has that. He's tall. He looks very official, but that ain't enough for me because I like him. I think that I think he's corrupt. I think that he has secrets, such as what happened to Gary Barber and what happened to the Gibbs person. I think that it's been murders in Meridian under his watch, and they were done by police officers under his watch and Percy Bland's watch. Um, and I just think that I think that they'll focus on the black community, focus on Meridian, and I think that they'll see how much money they can get. I think all that be. This is what I think. This is my opinion. I'm not saying to do that, but one thing I do know, I don't know much. What I think that the fact that he has Chris Reed is a strategic move, meaning that because everybody was up in arms because Jimmy Smith did not keep him as chief of police. Well, he's still not a chief of police, and he wasn't then. Well, instead of you getting up in arms and being upset about things, look at the man qualifications. Is he qualified? Meridian is a pretty bad place to live because you don't have the most qualified people in positions of authority. You don't have the right people there. You looking at friendship. You looking at repaying favors and all that kind of stuff. But it's time for change. I think that we need I think we need a mayor that's going to be more progressive. It doesn't have to be young, but it needs to be somebody that's going to be fair to all people. I ain't saying I don't have anything bad to say to Jimmy Smith, but I don't think that Dustin Markham should remain his city court judge. And if Jimmy Smith don't get rid of Dustin Markham, then the only way you're going to get rid of Dustin Markham or anybody else you dissatisfied with is you're going to have to get rid of the mayor in order to bring back change. Now, yes, I'm saying that, and I'm saying it factual. And so because of Dustin Markham, I will not vote for Jimmy Smith ever again. in any kind of primary or anything. I don't care who's running against him. As long as that person is qualified, whether they're white, Republican, or Libertarian, I'm going to vote for them because the Markham courtroom, here's why I have a problem with the Markham courtroom. If you're arrested for domestic violence, then Markham says that you have to spend 24 hours in jail. Wow, folks, do not seem like that you're guilty before you even went to trial? I don't think that's fair. I don't think that's right for anybody to do time until they actually been found guilty. Another thing Markham says that under no circumstances can a person drop charges. Okay, now God said you can't drop charges. You got to come before him. So in other words, if you go down there and you press charges against someone, male or female, and you know, folks, it's mostly black people that's doing it. We get in fights, we get into it. Black females get mad, and the first thing they do, they run to the police and have their boyfriend, husband, or mate, or girlfriend arrested. And the next thing you know, they're feeling bad about it. But Dustin Markham said, once you have them arrested, I'm gonna put them in jail, and you can't drop the charges. It took me almost a whole year to get charges dropped on me, and it shouldn't have been like that. You got to take your personal feelings out of everything. I don't care if you don't like me, but I don't like no fake ass shit where you act like you like me, but you really don't when you're digging a ditch for me all the same time. And I keep looking at my face too. Better see my face. We some good looking people. I got a pretty face. I shave. Y'all see that? Showing that pretty skin. Anyway, yeah. So I don't think so. Of course, that's some time away, but right now we have elections now. Ward Calhoun. I'm just telling y'all I'm gonna vote for Ward Calhoun. I'm gonna be a Republican, so I can vote for him. I don't care. I'm gonna ask for a ballot. I'm gonna vote for it. I don't care if you don't like it. I have voted for Solid, and I'm gonna vote for Ward Calhoun. Since somebody's running against Ward Calhoun, I'm gonna vote for Ward Calhoun in the Republican primary. Now I'm gonna tell you now, black folks, that's what we need to do. Y'all know Ward. Y'all know he's a fair man. He's quiet. He's very professional. He's always respectful, and he's been doing the job. He should have been sheriff. Solid, you should have retired years ago. You should have retired, baby. 4 years. You was vested. Should have turned it over to him. 4 years ago, we wouldn't be going through this. Now you're gonna have me going voting in the Republican primary field. Now, too bad. I want you to do that. I want all of you out there in podcast land that are resident in Lauderdale County. Y'all hear what Too Bad said? Too Bad said, bro, you don't move out of town. But I'm still a resident of Lauderdale County, Mississippi, because I haven't been here that long. I'm not registered to vote here, and I'll vote absentee ballot if I want to. That's what they do overseas. That's what they do when they live in other places. All right. Okay. See, Tool Belt. Now you already know you're gonna have everybody in Meridian now trying to arrest me for voters fraud. Now I'm gonna tell you folks, it ain't voters fraud until you vote two places in the same time or vote somewhere. Like say I live in Clark County and I vote in Lauderdale County. Now that's voters fraud. Say I'm in Alabama and I vote in Alabama and vote in Mississippi. Now there's voters fraud. Y'all got it now. Just got to educate y'all a little bit. Folks, I just tell you, people's always trying to hurt me. And the people that are trying to hurt me are always the people that I help, the people that I love, the people I care about. They're always trying to hurt me. Now, I'm going to tell you something, folks. Now, when you get angry, you get upset, that's when your feelings come out. You can be all, when you want something, you can be all nice and say things and do things. But when a person get angry and what they say is what they feel. When they get angry, yeah, they go and either when they get out of sight from you, they you walk away from it and they talk about you and behind your back and things like that. They vilify you and say bad things. Now, I ain't a perfect person, and you ain't you're not a perfect person either in podcast land. But I can tell you, there's some good people in Meridian, Mississippi. It really is. There's some people down there that you can ride and die for. There's some good people in the state of Mississippi. They will ride and die for you. They will not do anything to hurt you, no matter what the circumstances are. But you know what? I gotta talk about something. You know, I talked to a friend of mine, Perry too, and this is what he said. He said, "For the righteous fall 7 times and they rise again, but the wicked stumbles when calamity strikes." Wow. Now he told me, I said, what? He said the righteous man falls 7 times and get right back up. The wicked man fall 1 time and can't get back up. And so I said, where in the world you get that from? See, the way I see it is a strong man. A strong man, you know, now maybe because of the instructions I got from Minnie Hope. David Hope is a strong man. Reverend Cole is a strong man. Fred Welch is a strong man. I can go on and on. I can talk about Mac. Mac's a strong man. I can talk about Magruder, strong man. And Jimmy Smith is a strong man. I can talk about these things. And when a strong man fall, whether it's with his health or the law come at him, Lo is a strong woman. They get back up. 7 times 7, they rise up again. But the wicked or weak man or weak person, when calamity strike, they stumble. When bad things happen, they can't deal with it unless a strong man or a strong woman come along and help them. I thought that was a pretty good flow. If y'all want to look at that, that's in Proverbs 24:16. For the righteous fall 7 times and they rise again, but the wicked stumble when calamity strikes. In other words, one disaster is enough to overthrow the weak. You hear too bad. Said, bro, I don't think that's in there. Kind of. It said, oh yeah. And so, folks, I'm going to go back to my little list and everything. Folks, I gotta say this is that it's rough out there now. And pick your battles. Pick who it is that you want to fight with. Pick the things that you want to do or not do. Pick your goals. Pick your objectives. Make sure you do that. And when you're doing that, folks, when you're upset and you're in your feelings, don't take advice from a fool. A fool is somebody that's doing a whole lot less than you. Or it's almost as if you don't know how to read or write, and the person teaching you know how to read is functionally illiterate. You understand what I'm saying? And always judge a book by what they do, not what they say. And that's me. I'm from Missouri. You hear too bad. So, nigga, you ain't from Missouri. You from Ninth Avenue. That was Michael Carlisle said, you from Ninth Avenue. But just remember, folks, your anger always reveal your soul. So one of the things that a Mason, my brother David is a Mason, I'm a Mason. One of the things that a Mason do, the first penalty of our obligation is to subdue our passions. And now I know some of you say, well, I didn't know you was a Mason. I'm not a practicing Mason. What I did is that I'm a Menashe, meaning I'm an expert. If some of you out there, I don't go to the lodge, come up and try and test me. I promise you, I never been tried and denied. Come up and mess with me. And I promise you, you'll leave smiling, you'll leave goose stepping because I'm an expert. Folks, did you know that when a person get arrested in the state of Mississippi prior to a recent Supreme Court decision, is that they had to sit in jail until they was indicted? In other words, you had a right to an attorney, but you didn't get that attorney until after you was indicted. And if they arrest you and you can't make bond, and you had some people sat in jail 2 years, and then they, without an attorney, just to be in jail, when they finally go to trial and everything, 4 years of their life is gone, and most of it been in jail, and they're found not guilty. And so the Supreme Court, Mississippi Supreme Court, said that a person has to have a right to an attorney before indictment, and that's a good thing for the state of Mississippi. And y'all already know that's bad. Folks, I just want things to get done on a national level. Things are not getting done. We need things to get done. We need to stop. America's very good at printing money, spending money that is almost like counterfeit. You're spending money that we don't have and we don't make. And so we're burdening our children and the children with a debt that could never be paid because everything been sourced out of America. So we're gonna have to do something about that, I gotta tell you, folks, is that it's always chaotic. There's always something going on, and there's always something that we need to be doing, and there's always things that we're not doing. I just gotta tell you this, folks. Watch what you say. Watch what you say, folks. Be careful what you say, because when you say things, like if I was to talk about you out there in podcast land, I promise you that if I talk about you out there in podcast land, um, it's gonna get back to you. Say if I get with Two Better, me and Two Better whisper bad things. Two Better now, we both just alike. Whatever we say behind your back, but we'll say it to your face. But I ain't gonna say it behind your back. I'm gonna say it to your face. I'm just not gonna do that. There's nothing I say or do that I already know the desired outcome. So if I say something or tell you something, it's just because I want it done. I'm very careful about social media, folks. You need to be careful and stop ironing your battles on social media. People get mad and they say things, and when you say things, and words hurt. I'm gonna tell you, when you say things and don't think that you can say something or do something and take it down, and the person you say it about, they're not gonna see it, because they're gonna see it, because time you post it, the people gonna Snapchat it and spread it everywhere and get it. And so then when things like you in your feelings and you're upset, and then all of a sudden now things it's cold outside, or either things change and you want to go back, you can always fix things sometime, but sometimes, folks, you can't fix things when you say and do certain things to people. So you need to be careful what you say and what you do, and always know where your blessings come from. Don't ever destroy your blessings. I want to tell y'all this, as I seen Percy Bland Sunday. Lord. I was in Livingston, and I stopped to just I don't know where I stopped. I think I stopped to get something to drink or something. And then, hey, fella. I tell you what, great hope. I turn around and look, it's Percy Bland. And I promise you, folks, if y'all saw us now, you see me smiling, right? I promise you, we cursed each other out like two mules, man. I said, man, what a man, I'm talking about, he talking about he was the baddest mayor Meridian ever had. No, he talked about Percy. I said, I talked about your ass. I said, and then of course he went on about his business. You ain't recording, man. Now what Bama, he was headed to Hoover. I guess he go to church in Meridian and everything. Person might run for mayor again. And I gotta say this about Percy Bland. Percy Bland was an atrocious mayor. And I ain't finna tell you what I said to him. I cussed him out. I told him, I said, get out of the car. I beat your ass. I'm just telling you. And I use maybe a couple of more slang words with it. I said, get out. I said, get out right now. I said, and that's Sumter County. I said, I have Sumter County up here. I said, get out. He wouldn't get out of the car. Folks, I was serious. Person got out of the car, I probably would have punched his ass in the stomach and punched him for the shit he put me through. Of course, we talked about that too. I told him I was gonna sue his ass behind that shit. I tried. I said, "Why don't you go and give me some of that money out of that sack and go and settle with me?" Because he said, "I ain't got no sack." He said something about that same thing the Fed said. Of course, he was kind of careful about what he say, because he know I'm gonna talk about it right here and everything. But I did see Percy Bland, and he was heading home and things like that. And based on that, and folks, I gotta say this: Percy is a young man. Percy is 50 when you look at it like that. Percy problem was he was micromanaging, and what the shit he did to me and Low, it seems like that every black mayor that we get always seem to gyrate toward the white community. No, I'm not prejudiced or anything, but not at the expense of black folk. The person, I mean, we can go on and on about this, but I'm not gonna go on and on about this. Yeah, I I'm looking at my comments, folks. What I'm finna do now, I'm finna pause and read some of these comments, and then we're gonna come back in here and we're gonna close it out. The person, Brandon Spencer said, "What's up, Brandon? Man, you know, I'm just like the truth master. I always say, keep it in the short grass." And the reason why I asked him why he said that, he said in the short grass, you can see whether or not a snake is going to come up and bite you in the foot. So I'm going to just tell you, Brandon, I'm keeping it in the short grass so I can watch the snakes. My daughter, Rhea, I don't know what this life of Rhea. Daddy going on 70, still look 40. Baby, can I look 30? Yeah, well, thank you, baby. And she said, I love you too, baby. But oh boy, my baby Rhea just good vibes. Thank you. Pretty smart for a 12-year-old. She said when Dad used Uncle Red as tool belt, it kills me. She just start laughing and everything. Let me see, Barbara Mosley. Uh, I guess I don't know where at AOL come Mosley. She's listening, and of course, London Ting, way to go. London's my London's is like my church. She's my true stepmother, and she's family, and she's always there, especially for Rick. Rick is so spoiled and everything. And I'm gonna talk a little bit long. If you have any questions, I want you guys to go to you. You can email me at reaching out with Eddie at yahoo.com, and you also can go to my webpage at reaching out. Not is reaching out with Eddie.com. So it's always reaching out with Eddie. Reaching out with Eddie at yahoo.com, reaching out with Eddie.com, just to go and listen to that Two Beth singing that song, Stand By Me up there, whatever that church is. But anyway, it was a Christmas program, and it was a good program. And I saw that little boy in there. He looked like my son Cart, so he was asleep. So I walked over there and I started playing. Um, I'm looking over my notes now before. Oh yeah, I got to talk about Fox. Fox News settled for $787.5 million with Dominion. Dominion is a company that did the election, and they sued, and there's another lawsuit coming on with Fox News. It just goes to show how they lie, how they tell things that, and folks, we got to get away from that. And one of the things that Republicans love to say, they love to point out what Hillary Clinton did with emails and classified documents. How about maybe they're talking about where our missile silos are? Donald Trump had classified documents and lied about it. He said he didn't have it, and they had a search warrant and they found them there. How about calling Georgia, telling them to find him the votes? That's interfering with an election. How about insurrection? Oh man, come on, get out of y'all damn feelings and get this hate and this stuff, man. Y'all love that man because of the things that he don't give a damn about you out there. Just like most of the rednecks that fought in the Civil War didn't own a slave. You fight for something that wasn't yours. You fight for theirs, for them to keep what they have for you. And Donald Trump, Donald Trump ain't done nothing for any of you guys, man. It's about 30 things that Donald Trump, most of the things he said he was going to do, he didn't do. But most of the things that he did enriched business folks and made him and his peers richer. He did a lot of that. He promised to repeal Obamacare. He didn't do that. Matter of fact, he made a mistake and boosted it, made it even better. And of course, under COVID, he fell under COVID because he did changes in it. And we'll talk about this some other time in the future. But I want to close out with this, is that I just want to thank my family. I want to thank my church family. I just want to say that, and you know who you are, and you know what I'm referencing. I want to thank you guys for just being there and being so strong and being so faithful and doing what needs to be done in order to make sure everybody was okay. I want to invite you guys to Mount Hermon Church Sunday. I'll be there playing. I'm pretty good at playing. And so I want to invite you guys that I will be there, and I will be there playing. And if you want to hear somebody that can sing, you come hear Two Bell sing. Two Bell. Two Bell. Everybody in the choir scared of Two Bell. It's me on guitar. You got Michael Carlisle. We call him the minister of music. Then you got Greg Hill on bass. But Greg can play it all. And then we got Chris Grader on drum. We scared of David. We scared of Two Bell. Two Bell knows, all right, fella, let's get going. Y'all taking too long. But when he say something, we jump at attention. The military people know what attention is. But the Reverend Cole don't keep you in too long, and he always have a message that if you listen, you can always learn something. I appreciate you guys listening. I'll see you here next Thursday. I want to, and then I'll be. Y'all see the little stream lasts for 30 minutes. I mean 40 minutes, so that's good. I want to say good evening to all my family out there, and I want to thank y'all for watching in. And so we're getting ready to sign out. Y'all remember what I said now. White folks get reparation. Got a little black in their blood. Y'all have a good evening. Bye.